Welcome to Rhymes Corner, where I sit awkwardly by myself and talk to a camera. Today, just to let you know, my audio might not be good because I have the fan going. It's like 80 degrees here, it's way too hot. I'm kind of amphibious and I prefer to live under a rock or somewhere that's slightly chilly but not too cold because I am somewhat cold-blooded. The window's open and you can hear 1,000 motorcycles going by and the fan's going. And it's still really hot. Today I'm talking about creativity and generating ideas. I've had a couple of people ask me in the past where I get ideas for cosplay skits or CMVs or photography, just artwork in general. Before we get into it, I want to talk about some common misconceptions or myths about generating ideas and creativity. The first myth is that there are no original ideas out there, and this is probably said to you at some point in your creative life by a really snobby person. People use the same themes over and over again, the same character types, the same narrative structures, but there are always still new and creative ideas. And the way that this happens is through something called defamiliarization. Defamiliarization is a very large word that makes you sound smart if you say it, and what it is when you take an idea that has already been done and you change it enough so that people don't recognize it anymore. If you're trying to write poetry especially, this is really important, is knowing how to make something sound fresh and new even though everyone has talked about it 1,000 times, which is why love songs get really boring if you don't do them differently or don't make them directly about love. Maybe you're writing about your favorite waifu and you want to say, "Her eyes sparkled with excitement," but oh wait, that's really boring. Everyone has already said that. So what you could say is, instead of using this old cliche of "her eyes sparkled," you could say, "Her eyes fluttered and pinwheeled like fireflies on a humid summer night." That sounds kind of lame when I read it out loud, but the basic idea is to give us some imagery instead of just saying sparkled. Like what? When you're making a cosplay music video, it's nice to try to avoid the cliches. You know, there are a million CMVs out there where people are running through the woods. You know, you can't, the trope of you can't find somebody that you're looking for, which we've done, of course. Or like, you know, you go around the corner and they're not there. Or you have the disappearing sad trope, where you have one character and then another character and then that character like fades out and then they're by themselves and it's so sad. The second myth is that you have to wait for inspiration to strike. If you keep waiting for the right moment for inspiration to strike, you're going to end up being a very elderly person saying, "I've waited 82 years to write that Hannibal slash fic, and now nobody watches Hannibal anymore." Although, you know, hopefully they will. But they'll probably just be watching Silence of the Lambs and then wondering who in the world Mads Mikkelsen is, but that's not the point. It's better to have 1,000 terrible ideas and to do them and have a good time and learn something rather than waiting until the exact right moment to do something. Myth number 3 is that using other people's ideas or creative insights is stealing or cheating. This is only true if you take something and say, "I wrote this book. You see this book? I wrote this book." That is called plagiarism, where you take someone's ideas and you say, "Yo, I did that," when you didn't. As long as you're not taking complete credit for someone's idea and just copy and pasting it into your own work. If you take bits and pieces of all of the things that you really like and put them all together, you're probably gonna get something really weird, or really interesting, or something really weird and interesting but also good. Or it might be crap, but it's worth trying. There are a couple of exercises that I have written down that could be kind of helpful for anyone who wants to start the wheels turning. You could write a poem or a story based on a song that you really like, or you could make a video based on a song's lyrics. You could write a short story and make a short film about a song's lyrics and what you think they mean, or a situation that you would imagine this song being in. You could also ask yourself, what would it be like if you took your favorite band and combined it with your favorite movie? What kind of feeling would that be, or what would that look like? When I'm coming up with cosplay skits, a lot of times it's just when I'm falling asleep, or if I'm in the shower and just thinking, or talking with friends. And I just ask myself what if questions. Like, what if Death the Kid wanted to go on a date with Liz? Who would he ask for advice? Oh, maybe he'd ask Blackstar. Oh wait, that would turn out really bad. And then we make a skit about it. Even just taking a basic idea like this and then sitting down with our friends and talking it out gets us some really funny ideas because my friends are hilarious. And their contributions to a really small idea ends up being completely hilarious. I like to write lists when I'm coming up with ideas. which is why the next cosplay that I'll be doing is Oskar Schindler from Schindler's List. And that joke was just for you guests. Yeah, I should go into comedy. All you can do is sit down and, as you come up with ideas, write lists and lists and lists of ideas. Some of them might be terrible, that's okay, you can do them anyway. If you're trying to write your own characters, I advise you to try new things. This means a lot of people, especially young writers, tend to write very young and attractive or mysterious. You know, they try to make them mysterious and attractive and young, and that gets really old because they end up being the same. So I challenge you to do something that you haven't done. A lot of people haven't written an elderly character. Test your limits by writing characters that you wouldn't normally write, because anyone can write a handsome, young, tortured, white male protagonist. Anyone can do it. It's really easy. And then you can give him a reason to be very angsty. It's so easy. Don't be afraid to have weird or unorthodox stories. A lot of American films like to wrap things up in a little bow and hand them to you and say,
"Oh, look at this ending. It's so nice, because you know what happened."
well, a lot of foreign films aren't like that, which makes them very interesting, very ambiguous, and it makes you think about them. That's the thing about a good film, is you think about it afterwards. It doesn't have to be a happy ending. Could be a happy ending, but we could still have a lot of questions. There are some great ways that you can try new techniques. Say you want to make a short film. Try making it from end to beginning, or writing it from end to beginning. What would that look like? Do things out of order. Things don't have to happen in chronological order. And I promise you that you will be surprised with what you can do. Another thing that makes it really easy for you to be creative is to have zero resources. The good news is, for you and for me, is that having no resources forces you to be creative. So go out there and just make your stuff, be weird, do whatever you want. As long as it's legal, probably.